Mr. Math here. Thanks for watching my videos. Be sure to like and subscribe and remember to ring the bell to be notified of updates. Hello viewers, welcome back to Oblivion Remastered. This is Geoffrey, the Cleric of the Divines, standing outside of the main gate of Leyawiin on this dark and dreary day. And we are about to head north. We just did a few important things. We got the Count's support for Bruma for the upcoming battle, for the Blades. And we also did the next job for the Fighters Guild. Yeah, that one didn't turn out too well. But regardless, we have to go report in on it now. Blasted mud crabs. Our Fighters Guild brothers just sort of wandering around doing stuff. So we are heading back to Chorrol, ultimately. It's quite a distance, but yeah, that's where we're going. And kind of as usual at this point, we are going to go up the Nibben. Probably not the safest thing to do in the middle of a lightning storm. Standing in the middle of a wide flat expanse while wearing metal armor. But it looks like the rain's stopping anyway. We are heading north, ultimately to Chorrol. We're going to make a stop in the Imperial City, put a bunch of stuff in storage, make some more potions. Because we've used up a lot of poisons, and what the heck is that? It's a Droog. I wonder if those things can swim. Hey, dude. Looks like A, no they can't. B, they are smart enough to know that they can't. Whoa. What? Okay, that's a weird glitch. It explains why that's happened a few other times, though. Where I just suddenly fell through the surface of the water. If you, apparently, if you open a dead enemy's inventory while you're standing on the water, then when you close the inventory, you fall in. Reed Stand Cave. Do I have that on the map? I do. Okay. There's a mud crab over there. I hope it leaves me alone. I'm kind of sick and tired of having to deal with those stupid little buggers. Let's see, there's a landmark on the eastern shore that I'm keeping an eye out for. Whoa, it's gotten really foggy. Low visibility. I might have to get closer to the eastern shore or I'll miss the landmark. Okay, I do believe that is the island fort where I dealt with that moneylender fella not too long ago. And that's pretty close to the landmark in question. There's a chapel, I think should be right around here somewhere. That must be it right there. Yeah, Cadlew Chapel. I remember going in there once before, and it was taken over by some blasphemous necromancers. I'm under attack. Fabulous. Another mud crab. Look how far away this stupid thing is, and it's still coming after me. Ugh. Anyway, as I was saying, it had been taken over by some blasphemous necromancers, and, you know, good old Geoffrey here gave them what for, you might say. Let's see if more of their colleagues have moved back in. It would appear the answer is yes. An ebony mace. Not as good as a Daedric mace, but, yeah. Seem to have been cursed or something? Drain endurance, 1 point for 30 seconds. Pfah. And 1 point of frost damage for 30 seconds. Meh. Whatever. Dead treasure hunter, huh? All he has is an iron mace. I can live without one of those. Oh, he fell in the fire. Oh, here we go. Daedric mace. How am I still not over encumbered? Huh, whatever. They've despoiled the place, but they haven't desanctified it. Human heart? Ugh. Geoffrey, bro. Geoffrey is not interested in that. Lots of human hearts. You know what? I'm going to examine one anyway. Restore health. Pfft. Shock shield, damage, magic of silence. Huh. Exactly the same as a Daedra heart. Same weight, same potion effects, same monetary value. Okay. Daedra hearts are one thing. Human hearts, even for Geoffrey Grow Geoffrey, that's a bridge too far. Alright, well, the new set of Necromancers has been disposed of. Too bad I can't inform someone of this so that they can come clean the place up. Ah, well. Moving on. What's the time? 6:40. We're still a long distance away. It's going to be pretty much the dead of night by the time we make it to the Imperial City. But anyway, we go to the city, store a bunch of stuff in the house, make some more poisons because I've used quite a few. And then continue west to Chorrol to report into the Fighters Guild. I need to keep the feather spell up so as to not be over encumbered. Okay, there's the bridge. Isn't there a... Aha, right, there it is. I was about to say, isn't there an Oblivion Gate over there somewhere? There's one over there too, as I recall. I keep passing them by. Feels like I ought to actually go up there and do something about them. Eventually. They are a little bit out of my way, though. Okay. There tend to be lots of mud crabs in here. Maybe if I take a quick jaunt over the land, I can avoid most of them. Blasted, there's one right there. Fah. Okay, I guess not quite the dead of night. Getting pretty late, though. Okay. I do believe this is the first house I ever got. Alrighty. First things first. Let's put the Blackwood equipment in there as trophies. Ring of Eidolon's Edge. Pretty decent piece of equipment, actually, if I was primarily a blade user. Don't want to keep the ebony mace, I'll be selling that. But the Daedric mace, yeah, maybe. Yeah, let's actually hold on to that in case I want to enchant myself something different than these two. Right then, let's see. I think that's everything I want to store in here. Arctic Touch Tome. I've already used that. Biography of the Wolf Queen. Oh, sapphire. I could go sell that. I should just blasted well sell all of these scrolls. I am never going to use them. Note. Darn it, I was hoping that would let me actually see it. Okay. A pearl, okay, I can sell that too. Another sapphire. Okay, I have a few things to sell. Correction, I have a lot of things to sell. I'm just, you know what? Yeah, I'm just going to sell all of these blasted scrolls. Every last one of them, except for the open very hard lock scrolls. Those I have actually been using. But all the rest of them, I will never use any of them. I'm just going to sell the blasted things. Okay. Now, let's actually take a quick look. I have used this, right? Yes, I have. Okay. Biography of the Wolf Queen. Oh, this got me a rank up in one of the skills. Few historic figures are viewed as unambiguously evil, but Potema, the so-called Wolf Queen of Solitude, surely qualifies for that dishonor. Born to the Imperial family in the 67th year of the Third Era, Potema was immediately presented to her grandfather, the Emperor Uriel Septim II, a famously kind-hearted man, who viewed the solemn, intense babe and whispered, "She looks like a she-wolf about ready to pounce." Potema's childhood in the Imperial City was certainly difficult from the start. Her father, Prince Pelagius Septim, and her mother, Kizara, showed little affection for their brood. Her eldest brother, Antiochus, 16 at Potema's birth, was already a drunkard and womanizer, infamous in the Empire. Her younger brothers, Sepphoris and Magnus, were born much later, so for years she was the only child in the imperial court. By the age of 14, Potema was a famous beauty with many suitors, but she was married to cement relations with King Mantiarco of the Nordic Kingdom of Solitude. She entered the court, it was said, as a pawn, but she quickly became a queen. The elderly King Mantiarco loved her and allowed her all the power she wished, which was total. When Uriel Septim II died the following year, her father was made emperor, and he faced a greatly depleted treasury thanks to his father's poor management. Pelagius II dismissed the Elder Council, forcing them to buy back their positions. In 3rd Era 97, after many miscarriages, the Queen of Solitude gave birth to a son, who she named Uriel after her grandfather. Mantiarco quickly made Uriel his heir, but the queen had much larger ambitions for her child. 2 years later, Pelagius II died, many say poisoned by a vengeful former council member, and his son, Potema's brother Antiochus, took the throne. At age 48, it could be said that Antiochus's wild seeds had yet to be sown, and the history books are nearly pornographic in their depictions of life at the imperial court during the years of his reign. Potema, whose passion was for power, not fornication, was scandalized every time she visited the imperial city. Mantiarco, king of Solitude, died the springtide after Pelagius II. Uriel ascended to the throne, ruling jointly with his mother. Doubtless Uriel had the right and would have preferred to rule alone, but Potema convinced him that his position was only temporary. He would have the empire, not merely the kingdom. In Castle Solitude, she entertained dozens of diplomats from other kingdoms of Skyrim, sowing seeds of discontent. Her guest list over the years expanded to include kings and queens of High Rock and Morrowind as well. For 13 years Antiochus ruled Tamriel and proved an able leader despite his moral laxity. Several historians point to proof that Potema cast the spell that ended her brother's life, but evidence one way or another is lost in the sands of time. In any event, both she and her son Uriel were visiting the imperial court in 3rd Era 112 when Antiochus died, and immediately challenged the rule of his daughter and heir Kintara. Potema's speech to the Elder Council is perhaps helpful to students of public speaking. She began with flattery and self-abasement. "My most august and wise friends, members of the Elder Council, I am but a provincial queen, and I can only assume to bring to issue what you yourselves must have already pondered." She continued to praise the late emperor, who was a popular ruler in spite of his flaws. He was a true septim and a great warrior, destroying, with your counsel, the near-invincible armada of Piandonia. But little time was wasted before she came to her point. "The Empress Magna, unfortunately, did nothing to temper my brother's lustful spirits. In point of fact, no whore in the slums of the city spread out on more beds than she. Had she attended to her duties in the imperial bedchamber more faithfully, we would have a true heir to the empire, not the half-wit milksop bastards who call themselves the emperor's children. The girl called Kintara is popularly believed to be the daughter of Magna and the captain of the guard. It may be that she is the daughter of Magna and the boy who cleans the cistern. We can never know for certain. Not as certainly as we can know the lineage of my son Uriel, the last of the Septim dynasty." Despite Potema's eloquence, the Elder Council allowed Kintara to assume the throne as Empress Kintara II. Potema and Uriel angrily returned to Skyrim and began assembling the rebellion. Details of the War of the Red Diamond are included in other histories. We need not recount the Empress Kintara II's capture and eventual execution in High Rock in the year 3rd Era 114, nor the ascension of Potema's son Uriel III 7 years later. Her surviving brothers, Sepphoris and Magnus, fought the Emperor and his mother for years, tearing the empire apart in a civil war. When Uriel III fought his uncle Sepphoris in Hammerfell at the Battle of Ichadag in 3rd Era 127, Potema was fighting her other brother, Uriel's uncle Magnus, in Skyrim at the Battle of Falkenstar. She received word of her son's defeat and capture just as she was preparing to mount an attack on Magnus's weakest flank. The 61-year-old Wolf Queen flew into a rage and led the assault herself. It was a success, and Magnus and his army fled. In the midst of the victory celebration, Potema heard the news that her son, the Emperor, had been killed by an angry mob before he even made it for trial in the Imperial City. He had been burned to death within his carriage. When Sephiroth was proclaimed Emperor, Potema's fury was terrible to behold. She summoned Daedra to fight for her, had her Necromancers resurrect her fallen enemies as undead warriors, and mounted attack after attack on the forces of the Emperor Sephiroth I. Her allies began leaving her as her madness grew, and her only companions were the zombies and skeletons she had amassed over the years. The Kingdom of Solitude became a land of death. Stories of the ancient Wolf Queen being waited on by rotting skeletal chambermaids and holding war plans with vampiric generals terrified her subjects. Potema died after a month-long siege on her castle in the year 3rd Era 137 at the age of 90. While she lived, she had been the Wolf Queen of Solitude, daughter of the Emperor Pelagius II, wife of King Mantiarco, aunt of the Empress Kintara II, mother of Emperor Uriel III, and sister of the Emperors Antiochus and Sepphoris. 3 years after her death, Antiochus died, and his and Potema's brother Magnus took the throne. Her death has hardly diminished her notoriety. Though there is little direct evidence of this, some theologians maintain that her spirit was so strong she became a Daedra after her death, inspiring mortals to mad ambition and treason. It is also said that her madness so infused Castle Solitude that it infected the next king to rule there. Ironically, that was her 18-year-old nephew Pelagius, the son of Magnus. Whatever the truth of the legend, it is undeniable that when Pelagius left Solitude in 3rd Era 145 to assume the title of Emperor III, he quickly became known as Pelagius the Mad. It is even widely rumored that he murdered his father Magnus. The Wolf Queen must surely have had the last laugh. You know, there was a bit of... Let's see. There was a bit of the War of the Red Diamond in here, which the previous Order of the Knights of the Nine fought in. That war is basically what tore the Order apart. I wonder which side everyone was on. Boy. Excuse my coughing. Just a moment. Right. Yeah, the one who fell to evil, whose name I regrettably have forgotten. I wonder, did he join Potema? That would unfortunately stand to reason. But then again, it is entirely possible that he was on the side of Sepphoris and Magnus. I wonder if there's any information to point one way or the other. Well, where was that note? Note. I think I got this in Anvil? But I honestly don't remember. Oh, that was a Speechcraft book. Okay. Well, good. Speechcraft is one of the things I actually want to work on. Okay. I think I'll be selling this. I don't need it anymore. I'll hold on to this. seeing as it does have some connection to the Knights of the Nine. And I think that's everything, really. Ah. I really should have read these. Okay. I'll read those in a bit. Okay. I'll take this back to Anvil and store it there. By the time I reach Anvil, I've probably completely forgotten that, but... Okay, handwritten note. Handwritten note. Okay. Right. This is how to make black soul gems out of grand soul gems using the Necromancers' altars. Black brew. Oh, I should have left that down in Leyawiin. That's where that belongs. The Dark Fisher, Fort Isterius, Fort Lynchall, Wendelbeck. So that's where I could go to make black soul gems, I think. I'm going to have to do that at some point, just to say that I've done it. Okay, yeah, that's everything. Alright, now, poisons. Put on the alchemist loop. And where's the master? Okay. Okay. Negative effects. Damage health or drain health? I can never remember. Only one item. Okay, I guess it's damage then. Drug wax. What? Ow, darn it. I closed out of there. I didn't want to do that. Okay, so damage health. And flax seeds. Okay. And now I need a damage fatigue item. Motherwort? Ah, not motherwort. Pah. Alkanet, perhaps? Oh. Crab meat. Okay, yeah, that works. Damage, health, and fatigue. Damage, health, and fatigue, okay. That should be more than enough. Alchemy up to 92, yeah. Okay, so take that off. We'll be walking across water eventually. Looked like there was some water suddenly swirling around me. All the way up, thank you. $376 Daedra hearts. I have slaughtered a lot of Daedra. Human skin. Why do I still have that? Because I haven't used it yet, that's why. Skooma. Wasn't I going to leave that in Bravil? Fine, I'll leave it here instead. Alrighty. What's the time? 9 o'clock. Let's get a good night's sleep. Not quite long enough, actually. That's a couple more hours. Come on, there we go. Okay, perfect. Right, so come the morning, we head to the market district. And I'm going to blast it well, empty out.
I heard there were some goblins around here recently.
A good portion of my inventory this time.
Ha!
This horse has been here forever. Makes me wonder whose it is.
speak.
Nah, you aren't worth speaking to. Whoa. After long, arduous hours of practicing jumping and controlling your falls, you've become an expert in acrobatics. You are now able to jump on water. With practice, you can jump several times in a row all the way across a body of water. Huh. I thought to do that you had to be a master of acrobatics. Goes to show what I know. All right. I'm going to have to try that. No, not there. There.
You look like you've swung a mace or two in your time.
Indeed I have.
Your quest for the Crusaders' relics was the equal of any of the old tales. Well met, Sir Knight.
Why, thank you. It's good to be appreciated.
Only quality goods for sale here. What can I interest you in?
Would you like an ebony mace? Yes, you would. Okay. Nothing here. Let's see here. Go ahead and take all of these. And this. Strong potion of healing. I've gotten into the habit of just carrying 10 of those around.
A fine transaction.
And I do not need potions of sorcery at all. I also don't need potions of sea stride.
That's a fair deal.
Or potions of light.
A good price for a good customer.
Detect life? No, thank you. Okay.
That's a good deal.
Let's see. Potion of sea stride.
You drive a hard bargain.
That'll do for that. Now then.
That's more than I'd usually pay. That's a good deal. A fine transaction. An excellent bargain. You drive a hard bargain. A good price for a good customer. That seems a fair price.
Okay.
You've made a good bit of gold. That's more than I'd usually pay. That's a fair deal. That's more than I'd usually pay. That's a good deal.
Talks about how I've made a good bit of gold. I'm far more
That's a fair
interested
deal.
in the fact that I have cleared out a lot of my inventory. These things have just been weighing me down forever.
That seems a fair price. That's a good deal. You got a great deal there. A fine transaction. You got a great deal there. A fine transaction. A fine transaction. An excellent bargain.
All right.
That's a fair deal. That seems a fair price.
Okay, I just have to remember, don't want to sell these. Or that.
An excellent bargain. That seems a fair price. That seems a fair price. That's a good deal. You got a great deal there. A good price for... An excellent bargain. That's a fair deal. That's a fair deal. An excellent bargain. A good price for a good customer. A fine transaction.
Okay, there we go. I had like 25 weight units of scrolls. Because I had 380 something before I started selling all of those, and now I'm at 370. My potion inventory is still way overloaded, but at least I've emptied out this part.
Thank you for your patronage. You too.
Okay. One more thing to do before we leave the market district. Go to the Mystic Emporium and recharge all of the weapons. Where is she? There she is.
I hope I can help.
I believe you can. Recharge my weapons, please.
Always keep your magical equipment charged.
Okay.
Bye.
It seemed like that doesn't cost me any gold. That's kind of odd. Because this is how much gold I had before she recharged all my weapons, and now it's how much gold I still have. That's weird. Not sure what to make of that.
Well met.
She had some info.
Hey, you're the one they call the hero of Kvatch, aren't you? The one that closed the Oblivion Gate and saved the city?
Indeed, that is me. I'd hoped you had some actual news for me, though.
Be seeing you.
Goodbye. Alright, I believe we're done and can now proceed on to Chorrol. You know, the way the rank up described it, you know, how you can do that with practice, made it sound kind of difficult, but I was doing it fairly easily there. You know, with practice, you can jump on top of the surface of the water. That's what I wanted to do.
A coin for...
Alrighty then. Right, let's get a better view of this. There we go. Yeah, that's as easy. I don't need the waterwalking ring anymore. Look at this. Now that I have a basic water jumping skill, so it's on to Chorrol for us. I wonder if there's a bandit up here again.
What's that?
There is. I would have thought that guy down there would have handled him, but guess not. Now, these are some heavy potions. Literally. Still no glass helmet. Bah. He was a red guard, so the poison didn't actually do much to him. but, you know, every little bit helps, I suppose. Though in Geoffrey's case, I suppose he doesn't need little bits since he does so much damage with each swing. Every now and then I come past one of these Oblivion gates that I've already closed and another Daedra has popped out, despite the fact that the gate is closed. Not this time, though. Okay, I think that's a troll. Not anymore, it's not. Fort Ash. Gate to Oblivion on the compass, but it's the one that's outside of Chorrol that I already closed. I still can't believe that the daughter of the item shop owner just left her horse here. I mean, how irresponsible. It's just, you know, messy. Poor beast is in everyone's way. And probably not very comfortable.
Have pity, beautiful lady. I got nothing to eat.
Alright, let's sell that bandit's armor.
Hello, I'm Rashida, the smith, and this is Fire and Steel. Quality armor and weapons, repairs too. What can I do for you?
You can buy some bandit gear that I took off of
Only
a
quality goods for sale here.
deceased fella.
What can I interest you in?
Let's see.
That's a good deal. That's a good deal.
And let's see. Yeah, he had an axe.
Tell your friends about me. You too.
Okay. Right, time to report into the Fighters Guild.
They say the king
I'm sure nothing bad is about to happen. Let's see. Oreyn? Where's Oreyn? Where's Oreyn? Oh, here he is.
You're back. What have you found out?
Well, the squad was slaughtered by the Blackwood Company.
Dead! Dead! What happened? A journal? Let me see that. Blackwood Company. Bastards! Rank amateurs! I don't like to think how Valena is going to take this news. He was my responsibility. I'll be the one to tell her. I want you to lay low for a while. Talk to Azan or grow cash. Let me deal with Valena. You've still got a career ahead of you.
Do I have a promotion coming?
I'm sorry. You're not yet ready for a promotion. Keep completing contracts and take care of any assigned duties.
All right, as you say.
Go to it.
So he was going to talk to her, but then left. Okay. Well, I suppose Anvil's not too far away. Why don't you put your armor back on? Why did you take it off in the first place?
Are you sure?
Ugh. Dunmer are weirdos.
How are you?
Fine.
Good.
Right. Well, let's see. Still fairly early in the day. So he was saying basically get out of town until what's-her-name calms down. Well, I suppose going down to Anvil wouldn't be too difficult. It's not that far away.
It's you. Hi.
What's going on with you?
The honor blade has been returned to the castle after all these years.
Well,
It's you. Hi.
Oreyn didn't take the news all that well. Kind of surprising. I mean, the young man, you know, certainly it's a great loss, but nonetheless, he died a good death. Isn't that all you can ask for? But, I suppose, the rest of Men and Myr don't have the same, you know, proper perspective on things that we orcs do. So I'll just leave them to it and head down to Anvil in the next episode. So viewers, thank you very much for watching Oblivion Remastered. Again, next episode, down to Anvil to do more Fighters Guild stuff. And maybe see if there's anything else to do in the city. We will find out when we get there. Until then, this has been Geoffrey Grow Geoffrey signing off, and he and I will see you later.